nuggets, headlines and fun, true crime tales and a wild rerun. Bits of news to brighten your day in the latest, wackiest, pettiest expressway. Scandals, gators, space coast too, crimes that baffle and headlines askew. When the world gets dark, we bring the cheer. Newsy nuggets, the good, the grim, the weird is here.
Hey you guys, it's Mo from Mo in the Deep End, and I know I haven't been keeping up with the Diddy case, but this is the latest to come out, and it's a whole lot not safe for work, okay? So I'm gonna try to make it as safe for work as I can. Sean Diddy Combs is a cuck who may be bi-curious and ashamed to have sex with men, ex-girlfriend says in a bombshell testimony. I mean, wow. Also, can we not have pictures? I mean, how big is this man's head and how big is his head? Also, look, I don't work with charcoals, but still, the head and then the hand is. Anywho, let's get into this because holy gazolies, what was this about? Sean Diddy Combs is a quote-unquote cuck who is secretly bi-curious but too ashamed to, well, take the plunge with another man, his ex-girlfriend said in a bombshell statement in Manhattan, in the Manhattan trial on a Tuesday. Now, Combs' former flame, who is testifying under the alias Jane, told jurors that she had scoured the internet during their relationship in a desperate bid to understand the disgraced music mogul's twisted desires and their bizarre bedroom dynamics. When she landed on the cuckold fetish, she said it was spot-on description for his warped sexual urges and a possible explanation as to why he would allegedly force her into sick freak-offs with male escorts. Ooh, things you don't want to come out in like open court, federal open court. I was just trying to deep dive into all the reasons why cucks derive so much pleasure from watching their women be with other men. I mean, if the internet has taught us anything, is that you can look up damn near any fetish and learn about it. I wanted to know why my partner wanted so many of these nights and what was driving him, and I was just trying to find an understanding. Jane told the jury that, she discovered that some cucks are secretly bi-curious but too ashamed to act on it themselves. So they, excuse me, live out that desire vicariously through their partner. Now she explained that the "I'll be missing you" rapper often used terms like voyeurism and escapism to describe his erotic preferences, like he wants to escape the relationship. Or he wants to, I don't know that escapism would be the right word, but I mean, it's not reality if you have to, who knows? I would use the word cuck for him more so, said Jane, who noted that she normally didn't like having sex with anyone but Combs. The shocking testimony came forth during Jane's fourth day on the stand in Combs's federal trafficking and racketeering trial as his defense attorneys grilled her over her allegations. Now Jane, who dated Bad Boys record founder for 3 years until his September 2024 arrest, previously testified, often sobbing uncontrollably, in disturbing detail that the embattled producer savagely laid hands on her and forced her to have unprotected sex with porn stars and escorts. The juries have heard testimony and seen text messages that back those claims up. Jane's claimed that she didn't want to have any relations with other men, but did so to please Combs, who repeatedly threatened to stop paying her $10,000 monthly rent if she refused. Does that apartment have like an Android made $10,000 rent? Where the hell are you living? Not that that's to do with anything from anywhere, but there you go. She described being forced into depraved, drug-fueled freak-off sex marathons that are at the center of the prosecutor's case against the hip-hop, mogul. Now, Combs, 55, has pled not guilty to all charges of trafficking and transportation, and he faces life in prison if convicted. There are more updates, so let me get into those because, good Lord, it's a day for, Diddy trials. It's a Diddy drop. Now, I do want to put out there that defense grilling his influencer ex-girlfriend, this is probably more akin to the same article, but maybe there is more here. And, there are points where some of the defense is getting things in, such as defense lawyer uses steamy sext to undermined victim's testimony. Tenny Garagos, the defense attorney for Sean Diddy Combs, has been showing jurors droves of sex that the former influencer girlfriend sent the rapper in a bid to undermine her testimony that she was victimized. What fantasy do you have? Allegedly, Jane wrote in one more of the more tame messages. Now, jurors have heard testimony and seen messages that back up Jane's claim that she didn't want to keep having relations with other men, but did so to please Combs, who repeatedly threatened to stop paying her rent. So, again, very interesting, kind of sad. And, this is going to go on for a while. I foresee there being a lot more to this. And again, if Mr. Combs was a, like to watch his ladies go boff other men, he should have found ladies who enjoy being boffed by other men while their partners watch. To force someone who is not comfortable into your particular, likings with the threat of violence or monetary, coercion is gross. Any way you slice it. I'm not a federal lawyer, so I don't know like the ins and outs of, anything, but I can tell you if you're in a relationship and your partner's, forcing you to do something you're not comfortable with, get out of that relationship. It's not worth it to do something that's, completely against either your internal moral compass or something you're not comfortable with just to be with a partner. Now, that being said, he made her have unprotected sex with porn stars. How absolutely, look, Mr. Combs, if you're not guilty there, I'm going to send you to Snake Island for that
It's a
one.
curse, we've got a room for the wicked, the cruel, and the worst. If you lie, if you cheat, if your soul's made of bile, you're bound for the fangs and the venom in style. Oh, one-way ticket to Snake Island. Oh, let the contents, less cowards and gaslighters go. No anchor, no lifeboat, no tearful goodbyes. Just hissing and coming in cold-blooded skies. Backstab your friend.
Yeah, so again, if you're in a relationship where someone is forcing you to do something you're not comfortable with, really evaluate if this is the relationship for you. I get somewhat why these women stayed when they weren't comfortable, but is $10,000 rent really worth your dignity, your self-respect, and your internal well-being? I guess for some people it is. Again, not making, asides or attacks on any of the women in Diddy's life, but I do have to ask why, when he was controlling, abusive, and all of that, it's not easy, but walk away. I should be able to stay more up to date on Diddy drops and all sorts of pop culture and news drops as the Karen Reed trial is wrapping up. So hang out with Mo for all of your drops, newsy nuggets, and all those things. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. And be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire, because if someone's asking you to do something you aren't comfortable with, it's about time to speak up, and where kindness doesn't equal doormat anymore. Oh, I probably shouldn't show that. YouTube doesn't like violence, even if it's not me doing the violence, it's Diddy Combs. That being said, I will see you in a little bit for Mornings with Mo. Please hang out with me. Bye, you guys.